Last week we focused on the rotating wrist rotation for performance, for playing, and feeling that natural roll and dropping of the weight depending on where we wanted which notes to bring out. This week we are going to put hands together. We're going to use the two techniques, the floating arm in the accompaniment hand and the rotation in the right hand. And we're going to work on how to increase the tempo, but still maintain that artistic shape of all of our nice little phrases in here. And so we're just going to get started now. You've played it where each hand feels comfortable. Now it's time to put it together. Where it's really going to be difficult, believe it or not, is it's going to be that left hand is going to throw you because you're focused on the right hand. So we want to start slowly, very slowly, but we do not want to give up any of our technique, which makes it a little bit harder, but that's okay. So we start, for the first one, we're just going to jump in and start hands together, and we're going to try the first connecting measure 1 to measure 2. So we start with our wrist rotation and our floating arm. And how did that go? Usually can be a little tricky. So actually what you want to think of is that 8th note in the left hand is actually a 16th note and then a 16th note rest. We want to play down and just like that. So you practice that 4th beat through the 1st beat. And then when that's comfortable, then we go on to the next one. Now here's the next little difficulty. It's got the same chord change as measure 1 to 2, but the right hand now has to switch. Remember that switch where we're going from 2? So we're switching the notes that we're bringing out. So not only do we have the little bouncy move thing, we have to switch what our right hand is doing. So again. And after that, the chord changes are not that difficult. Those two, and it's same thing in 6. So the first day of hands together, really focus on working on digging out tiny spot practice, any place that you can't do both techniques comfortably at a very slow speed. In number 6, the biggest problem comes in measures 3 and 4 because you have to move that right hand. So down in measure 3 of number 6, we have and did you shift? Did you move? That's the hardest part. To practice that connecting measures 3 to 4, you need to put your hand in the position. You need to really start at the beginning of measure 3. Okay? And you need to do that till that is comfortable. So when you can do 3 and 4 at a nice, very slow, steady rate with all of the technique. Don't start leaving technique out just to put the notes together. It's all got to come together. When that's ready, then work on artistry and we're going to work on tempo. So after you've got everything together, let's say you've got everything now at a nice speed, nice slow speed, but you can move, you can play them steady all the way through. The best thing to do for speed is to use the metronome. But we're also going to use artistry at the same time. And those first little crescendo diminuendos in the first 2 measures, you want to use the weight of your hand. You're going to be varying how much weight you put into the thumb and the fingers, keeping that pinky nice and soft. So with a nice little diminuendo at the end. Okay? The left, number 6, will be same thing. We start soft. With a slight change in the dynamics in that one. So now we put it together. And number 6. Now to increase the tempo, we want to keep the artistry, we want to keep the dynamics, we want to keep the technique, but we want to increase it a little bit. So we pull out the metronome, and we're going to set these for 1/8 notes. So the tick will be and you want to start a little slower even than maybe where you were playing before you put the metronome on. The metronome might drive you a little nuts because you might find places you were actually speeding up. So you want to get it all nice and even. And then when you can play it at the first one, and I started at 84 on that one, then you can, depending on your metronome, if it's like mine where it goes up, I think it's every 4 or something like that, you can go up 1 or 2 notches. And when you're comfortable with that, you click it up another 1 to 2 notches. If you've got a metronome that literally goes up 1 number at a time, you want to maybe do skip 2 or 3 every single time you go up, because that'll take you forever. But you keep working yourself up. Even though, yes, we do need to work on the tempo on this, it does need to move. It doesn't need to be rip-roaring fast. First of all, speed does create tension. Speed will get in the way of artistic and technical playing, so that's why you want to increase it gradually, always making sure that everything comes along with it. But you never want to play it faster than you can play it cleanly and artistic. People were more impressed with artistic playing. They want to hear pretty, good, dynamic playing music. They're not as impressed with just bangy fast notes. So don't get to the point that it's just you're just trying to play it really fast, your shoulders are up, everything's tight. No, no, no. You should be able to play these at a nice, steady tempo and have absolutely no feelings of tension anywhere when you play them. And you should be able to play them actually quite a few times, because that wrist rotation is so freeing. And you find it in so much music that you'll be amazed when you start looking how many places in music we've got that rotation going on. So I hope this helped. And if you like this 2-part videos on technique, then hit subscribe. And next week will be a brand new one. So we'll be working out of the same book. And I'd like to see you back. Thanks. Bye.